This is my Kenmore refrigerator, manufactured in 2007. Probably manufactured by Whirlpool because they share a lot of components. So, problem with the door after 20 years is it doesn't quite close like it used to. Used to be able to just swing it and then it would kind of catch and close, kind of like this freezer door. You can see how it just naturally closes. This one doesn't have it anymore, so it's been left open a few times. We're going to try and fix that today by replacing the cams down in the bottom of the door hinge, the lower door hinge. We don't have to take the door off, I think. I'm going to prop it up and do everything from the floor so I don't have to unload the refrigerator, don't have to worry about keeping the refrigerator open for any length of time. So we'll see how that goes. Now this is the upper freezer hinge, and you can see this little gap here. Now watch that gap when I open and close the door. You can see how the gap closes. That's because the cam has raised the door up, and when it closes, the door actually falls down a little bit. Now here's the refrigerator door. And you can see that doesn't go up or down at all. So the cams are probably completely worn out and flattened out. All right, I'm down on the floor here with my refrigerator. First thing we got to do is take this cover off, and that's just clipped in with some spring clips, so you just pop it off. And this cover comes off a lot easier if you have both doors open. So if you open up both doors, then it comes right off. And likewise, it goes back on. Got a lot of dirt here that we need to clean up. Well, this coil was really plugged up with dust, which would be affecting the efficiency of the refrigerator. So we got that vacuumed up. And if you haven't done so in a while, this would be a good time to replace the water filter. I've done it just recently, so I don't have to do it again. But if you take the lower grill off, which you don't have to because you can just push this button and that will pop your filter off. So it's not that big a deal to change filter. You just got to go find a filter. So let's take a look at the hinge right over here. Now the first step on here is I'm going to get the door, going to try and prop it up a little bit. So I cut a couple blocks of wood, and this one's actually a little short because I want to jack it up a little bit higher because I got a little room on the hinge up above. So what I'm going to do is I got a little shim here. It's almost about the thickness of the gap up on top, on the top hinge. And I'm going to open the door a little bit. So I've got that jacked up a little bit. This is approximately, I believe, a 5-inch long piece of wood. So now we're going to go ahead and take this, so let me just get this door stop off. Now I've never done this, so this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for me as well as you. They're probably English nuts. I'm using metric set, but it's probably not metric. This is an 8mm socket to get this first bolt off. And let's try another one. Now the door shouldn't fall down because the magnetic seal is holding the door to the refrigerator. The refrigerator just kicked in and blowing some air on my head. I think that is actually one of the screws for the cam. Yep, probably. And now I'm going to get these two screws here. See what happens. Also using the 8mm. wrong screw. Okay, so the hinge is loose and it's hung up on this bolt here, which may be part of the refrigerator assembly, but I think I can get it off that head and rotate it, and it just falls down apparently. A little more gook from the refrigerator. So I've got one bolt to take off here. Oh, that was not on very tight at all. And there's the flat cam, or the bottom cam. It just wiggles its way off. And let's see, this piece is loose. Oh, there's no more bolts up there. I'm just wiggling this thing down now. I'm trying to get the post out of the door. And there it is. Looks like that's some kind of spray insulation that's up inside there. On the other side, the cam, and the cam just gets pushed right out. So there is the upper cam, and that thing is just flattened. It is wore out. This one's not wore out quite as much, but that is gone. So I've got the bracket cleaned up a little because it was kind of gunky. So that's going to go up here like this. And here's the new cam. And that's going to go into this hexed hole. And the cam post actually has a little bit of a hex on it, if you can see that down at the base of the post. And that actually locks right into the bracket. Well, it's a pretty tight fit for the cam in the hole. So I'm going to put a little tube of grease here. I'll put a little dab on there. Okay, so there's the bracket. Now we'll put the post in there, and then I'll kind of use this bracket as kind of a wrench to turn this back and forth. Let's see how far up we can get this thing into the door. Get that rotated approximately in the right position. And we'll get this screw in here. Got that started. It looks, it's not quite flush yet. So I've probably got this plastic bent a little bit. I'm hoping that that will go up in there with the weight of the door a little further. Got this post cleaned up just a little bit. So for this one here, we're going to put the cam on the post. And the correct hole is, how do you want to describe that? It's the one towards the door. And I believe this was the screw for that. And they're very tight at all. We got that snugged up. Take a little grease, and we're going to put it on the cam and on the post. Don't think we need a lot. This cam lasted 20 years. Now these are aftermarket plastic pieces, so maybe they're not going to last as long as the OEM, but we'll see what happens. So the post is going to go in the hole in the door. Then we're going to lever that over the hex head here. Push that up in there. Ooh. I think one of the problems I've got here is that this cam is still not flush with the bracket, so this hinge is a little bit low, but we'll see if we can get the screws in there. So I'm going to open the door slightly and see if that will give me a little more slack here. Looks like it did. It's going in there pretty nicely. So that one. Got that tight. I forgot, I think I got one more screw to put in here. Ooh, that's a hard one to find in the dark. I should have put this screw in earlier. Fortunately, because I got this bracket lined up, it's lined up with the hole, so it's going to go in there. Yeah, this should have definitely been the second screw I put in. This is just going into the through the bracket and into the door. I don't see any spare parts, so I think I'm ready for some final cleanup here and then put the cover back on. I'm going to get my door open and take my block out. Ooh, there it is. Ooh, I've got a cam again. It just closes all by itself again. Beautiful. So cam kit's all installed. Door opens and closes great again. So we're all set. Thanks for watching. Hope that helps you with your refrigerator.